Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
What's going on, guys? I hope you liked that intro. We are here for the first Miami Dolphins podcast, and the first thing you might notice, something you didn't see in yesterday's video, is the background is completely different. This is closer. I have things here and I have things here, and I want to kind of explain that really quick before we get into these segments. Today we have 3 segments. I hope you guys like the overlay. It probably looks really stupid, but I hope you like the overlay. We have 3 segments today, as well as a 4th, which is a Q&A. But yeah, let me explain how that went. So behind me, or in front of me is the wall that previously you guys were looking at with my, I like to call it stupid little high monkey thing. And then now it has my shoe rack, and before it had the flags and the desk that had all my Flanagan's cups, my Dolphins cups. If you're not from Miami, you probably don't know what Flanagan's is. So my Flanagan's cups, Dolphins cups, Heat, Marlins, all that other stuff. But I decided that like the lighting didn't look nice enough, even with these lights, which they ran out of batteries, and I haven't really gone to get batteries yet. So that's why this might be a little dimmer, or it might be a little lighter. I mean, I kind of noticed that the light's a little better, a little bit, a tiny bit, but you know, I didn't like it. It looked really bad. The curtain that's right here always let other light in that didn't make it look nice, and I just didn't like it. It didn't fit my vibe, I guess you could say. But we will go to the first topic, and hopefully if I did the overlay correctly, or if there's not even an overlay at all, you never know, maybe there isn't, but hopefully I did the overlay correctly, and there's an overlay here. The first topic is my Super Bowl reaction. Now you're probably wondering, God, the Super Bowl was like last week. What do you mean your Super Bowl reaction? Well, I didn't talk about the Super Bowl pretty much all week, so I wanted to give you guys my Super Bowl reaction. What did I think of the Super Bowl? What did Kai think about the Super Bowl? So honestly, I thought that the Super Bowl was probably the greatest Super Bowl we've ever seen. And I say that in all seriousness. I mean, I really think that this is the greatest Super Bowl ever. It was offensively electric. The defense, when they needed to step up, did. It led to what could have been a storybook ending. I mean, it had all the makings of what a great Super Bowl is supposed to be, and it was just fantastic. It truly was just fantastic. I loved it. I loved how everything was. Super Bowl was great. Couple takeaways I'd have to give for it is that, you know, honestly, I didn't really like, how do I put this in a better way? I didn't like the narrative that they kept giving over Nick Foles as a backup quarterback. Because, yes, Nick Foles is the backup quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, but he was a starter before, 27-2 in touchdown interception ratio, and he started before for other teams. He's not a backup, but he is a backup. I know it's weird to me too, but it's very interesting at the same time. I was really excited to see Foles play. As you guys know, a week before, 2 weeks before the game, really, I gave you guys my Super Bowl prediction, and I let it to be that I said the Patriots are going to win, and I picked the Eagles. And I kind of want to give a little bit of an explanation for that, because I never really gave an explanation. I picked the Eagles because, well, in my opinion, they're the best all-around team in football. You start at quarterback. I mean, to have your backup be a starter, then your starter was also down with an injury. Your backup comes in, and it's kind of the same thing that was there when your starter was there, which makes people question if your starter is a system quarterback, and that's what's making him good, and all this other stuff. I mean, it brings storylines. The Eagles, they bring storylines. You have an outstanding offensive line. You have an outstanding defensive line with a rookie who was still able to make plays, get some pass rush in the playoffs, regular season, and in the Super Bowl, he made the freaking fumble recovery off of the Fletcher. No, it wasn't Fletcher Cox. I don't really remember who forced the fumble. It wasn't Fletcher Cox. I forget. But regardless of that, you have that, which plays into it a lot. Your running backs, I mean, look, I talked a lot of crap yesterday about how J.J. was the third best running back on his team. He was. The voice crying there. He was the third best running back on his team, but Jesus. But when you have guys like that who can make plays, why would you care as an Eagles fan? I mean, honestly, LeGarrette Blount, beast. Corey Clement, mini beast. And then Ajayi, he made a couple runs here and there, but he's still a beast for them a little bit. Just a little bit. But you have that. Wide receivers, you have a guy in Alshon Jeffrey who is, I mean, talk about a guy who went from a losing team with the Bears to a winning team in the Eagles with all the confidence in the world. He said, we are going to win the Super Bowl next year. Wasn't even signed to a team yet, but said, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. And unlike Jalen Ramsey, he backed it up. He won. He had an outstanding game, too. I mean, he had a freakish game. If that catch that he had, that one-handed catch, if he got that, oh my God, man. If that wasn't picked off and he got that, he would have, not only would have Nick Foles gone down in Eagles history forever. I mean, no matter what happens to Nick Foles, he will go down in Eagles history. I mean, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to be, oh my God, Nick Foles, that performance he had against Brady and the Patriots. Wow. Just wow. Like, we're going to be talking about that in 30 years. But if he caught that, that would have just added to his Eagles legacy that he has. That I already talked about the defense. Corners, a little suspect, but they were able to get it done, but a little suspect there. Kicker outstanding, punter outstanding. Kicker was a rookie. Looked like he wasn't even phased after missing that extra point. Looked like he wasn't even phased. Sitting on the sideline just like, man, I can't believe I missed that. But all right, let's go. That was just, that game, that environment, that, I mean, I usually like to watch Super Bowl myself because I sit here and I look at the screen. I don't really watch the Super Bowl. I watch linemen, quarterbacks, wide receivers, all this other stuff. I try to learn more about the game while watching instead of just watching where the ball's going. If it makes a little more sense, because I'm not like the smartest guy when it comes to football. I'd like to think I'm pretty freaking smart when it comes to football. But like, I can't tell you why you should cut inside or why you turned your hips the wrong way or stuff like that. Like, I don't know that. I'm learning. I'm trying to, at least. And I think that I can do better, you know, obviously. But that's how I do it. Like with Dolphins games, I give you guys my immediate reaction, but I'm not really watching the ball. That's why I always have things to say that are off the ball, because I'm watching receivers, corners, everything like that. So yeah, there's that. But I mean, that pretty much sums up. Like I said, I watched by myself. I watched it with my friend and his girlfriend this year. And it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've had watching a Super Bowl in a really, really long time. And I'm really happy about that because I loved it. It was an outstanding experience with them, especially with like, you know, my friend, he's not like the smartest in football. Lewis, shout out to you. He's not the smartest in football, but, you know, he held his own. And then his girlfriend has a hate for the Patriots. He had a hate for the Patriots, even though he didn't really watch football. And, of course, hate for the Patriots. So it was just the perfect mix of people that I could have been with at that time to watch that. And, I mean, like, we were going crazy, high-fiving super hard, like, enjoying it. At one point, we were, like, 5 or 6 minutes behind the actual game. It was just interesting, but it was great. The Super Bowl was great. I loved it. I mean, honestly, right now, I wish that I could relive it again. That was just an outstanding game, outstanding experience. For those who were in Minnesota for the game, for who were in the stadium, I'm sure that must have been just outstanding football to watch. So we go from that, close to a 10-minute segment. That's what I want to try to keep these at. To our second segment, once again, if I remembered to make the overlay over the edits and everything like that, which is, do the Dolphins go big in free agency or stay small? And this is one that I find pretty interesting because when you think about it, what does really go big? Does it mean go after a whale, or does it mean get a bunch of small contracts and try to make things move around in certain pieces for your team? And then you get to the, what is small? Is it nothing at all? Or is it maybe one big whale? Put the two together, and you get what the Dolphins should do in free agency. I know it's a tricky question, big or small. Both can be related to the same thing. I think the Dolphins go big in free agency. You have to. Maybe don't throw like how some teams are probably going to throw freaking $30 million a year at Kirk Cousins. Don't do that. Don't do stuff like that. But go for guys that are going to make your team better in areas of need. I talked about this in a video before. You want to go into the draft with best player available mentality. Someone just commented, and I'll wait. I'll even bring that up in the Q&A thing. Even though it's not really a Q&A, it's just kind of me going over comments. But you want to go for best player available. No matter what, you want to go for best player available. You want to be in the position where even if you have Ryan Tannehill, let's say you evaluate your draft board, you have Ryan Tannehill. You think he's your starting quarterback for the next 2, 3, 4 years, however it may be. But you think that Baker Mayfield is the best player on that board. You draft Baker Mayfield. Let's say we still had Jay Ajayi, and somehow, some way, Saquon Barkley's there at 11. If you think Barkley is the best player available, you grab Barkley. You do not stick with only Jay Ajayi, Kenyon Drake. If you didn't know what Kenyon Drake had, you draft Saquon Barkley. We've seen this. It's the Patriots mentality. They have good pass rushers. All right, well, we're going to draft this pass rusher in round 4 who we think's the best player in this draft, and we're going to turn him into a superstar. We're going to send you to Arizona, Chandler Jones. Jamie Collins, go to the Browns. They draft best player available. They take care of their needs in free agency. The Dolphins have to do that. They have to be willing to do that. It's not even it is a need 100% of the time to be able to make sure that you keep your needs down and your wants higher. And I'm not a GM. I'm not an analyst. I'm not anything like that. But it only takes 2 eyes to see that, right? And you can say, oh, well, the Dolphins aren't Patriots. They're not the same organization. Well, yeah, that's true. The Dolphins aren't the same organization. But, for example, Philadelphia had a need at wide receiver. What did they do? They went out and got Alshon Jeffrey. Philadelphia had a need at kicker. What did they do? They took a chance with a rookie guy. Philadelphia had a need at backup quarterback. What did they do? They went out and got Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. Example, the Patriots thought they were going to lose Malcolm Butler. They lost Logan Ryan. Had a need at corner. Stephon Gilmore made the game-saving play against the Jaguars. If he doesn't make that play, the Jaguars are in the Super Bowl and the Patriots are out at the AFC Championship. And Josh McDaniels is probably the friggin' Colts head coach. You want to be able, and look, I am passionate about this, all right? I am passionate about this. You want to be able to make sure that your needs are covered in free agency going into the draft. So in the draft, you can draft best player available, or let's say you still have a need, draft him. If that's the best, if he's the best player available, if there's a defensive end and he is the best player available and you have a need, which the Dolphins have a need, at defensive end, you draft that defensive end. Right? I mean, it takes 2 eyes, two ears, 2 nostrils to figure it out. It does. You got to be able to do. You got to be able to have best player available, at least in the wheelhouse. You know, we're not going to have wheelhouse every single time, but you want it to be there. You want it to be a chance, an opportunity. You want it to be able to be where maybe this is a possibility. Just maybe it's a possibility. The Dolphins are going to have a need going into free agency at wide receiver. Right now, we haven't heard anything about Allen Robinson getting hit with the franchise tag. There's a really good receiver coming out of Alabama, as well as really good receiver coming out of Florida, USC. I mean, the list can go on. Where that's a need in the draft. Okay, cool. If you don't fix that wide receiver thing in there at 11, if you need a wide receiver and you think that this guy is great, let's say Baker Mayfield's gone, and you think that Calvin Ridley, that's his name, right? Receiver out of Alabama. You think Calvin Ridley could be the next guy? You got Kenny Stills, you got Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, Leonte Carroo, Isaiah Ford. I don't care. You take Calvin Ridley. If you fix everything else and Ridley's there, you draft him. You got to do it. You got to take a chance. I mean, where do you get in the NFL without taking chances? Let's think about that for a second. Where and how do you end up in the NFL without taking any chances? Think about it. If you don't take any chances in the NFL, where do you go? Nowhere. You go nowhere. Why? Because without taking chances, that means that you are unwilling to make your team better and to throw a Hail Mary down the field like Aaron Rodgers. You are unwilling to do what many probably wouldn't do that would make your team better. You're unwilling to make the plays, to make the effort to make your team better. Belichick takes risks every damn game, and they pay off. And even when they don't pay off, you know, if it paid off, they would have said, God damn, Bill Belichick is smart. And he's the GM, so that's not even an example. The Saints just had the best draft probably in years. I think every single player on that draft class made an effort. They didn't need a running back. They had Peterson and Mark Ingram, but they still drafted a running back in Alvin Kamara. Why? Best player available. And then we're a losing team who many thought were going to be a losing team again. But you got to make these risks. You don't get anywhere without making the risk to do something with the team, right? You want to be able to say at the end of the day, I made my team better. Today, I made the Dolphins a better team than yesterday. But that brings us into our third segment. This is going a little slower, but that's fine because this is the first episode. But yeah, brings us into our third segment. Once again, I remind myself in post-production that you should have the template or overlay or something, and I should, Kai, you know now, all right? Look, it might look like shit too. I apologize, but hey, maybe it'll look good. You never know. I've been working on videos since 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 1:34 right now, so you never know. Dolphins franchise might come out tomorrow because this is Monday, or well, this is going on Monday. Anyways, third segment. You've seen it already, but like now it's gonna go in bold. Hopefully, is do you still believe in Adam Gase? Now this one is one where if I was live streaming, I would open up to questions. Once I have my kind of like thing set and I learn how to do that stuff, I want to be able to live stream the Dolphins podcast, but I just would have to maybe move it to a Saturday or a Sunday, which wouldn't be ideal. I want to keep it on Mondays at 5:30. But do you still believe in Adam Gase? And it's kind of a question to you guys I want to see in the comments, but I'll give it off to myself. Do I still believe in Adam Gase? 100%. As Pat McAfee would say in his video talking about Troy Polamalu being a jerk face to him. You should watch it. Search it up on YouTube. It is freaking hilarious. Pat McAfee for the brand. He says a 100%er. What do I believe? How much percentage do I believe in Adam Gase? 100%. Why, you may ask? Kai, the offense this year was awful. Kai, did you see what he did? He traded away J.J. Kai, he's making all these things about Jarvis Landry. How could you still believe it? I hate Adam Gase. Gone with Adam Gase. Goodbye. No. Why would you? As I get, stuff in my eye, why would you? Why would you not believe Adam Gase? 10-6 with his healthy starting quarterback with the offense he wanted to run. Why wouldn't you believe in Adam Gase? Honestly, he showed you that when he makes a decision, it's for the good. It's for the brand. Trades away J.J. We get running back production both on pickups, on blitzes, out of the passing game and in the running game instantly when he's gone. That's all it took was trading one player. And a lot of people might say, why don't you just bench J.J.? No. Because you still have that there. You still have it looming in your locker room. Trade him away. Jarvis Landry and Kenyon Drake both pull stupid stunts last week of the NFL season. Kenyon Drake apologizes, he takes for his thing. Like I said in the video previously, I don't know if Jarvis Landry had apologized or not, but I haven't seen anything of him apologizing. And Adam Gase says in the end of the season press conference, it was the most embarrassing thing he saw all year. We had an offensive line coach get fired for sniffing coke in a video he sent to a prostitute. And that, he said, was the most embarrassing thing he saw all year. Think about it. Think about that for a second. The most embarrassing thing all year was your star wide receiver. When you wish upon a star wide receiver. That was the most embarrassing thing that he did. And you think about, a lot of people are saying, oh, the Dolphins are leaking stuff to Armando. They're leaking stuff to Armando. They're leaking stuff to Salguero to put out there. So, blah, blah, blah this, blah, blah, blah that, yada, 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 yada. Okay, they can leak it all they want. Doesn't mean it's not true. The Landry's camp and his agent, Bilbo Baggins, haven't come out and said anything to be the contrary to what the Dolphins said. And although he said that the contract situation was going good, it's February 12th, as you see in this video. Yeah, they're not going good. Nah, they're not. They're not going good. Talks are probably not going good. Think about it. We haven't heard anything in a while. So you'd have to assume talks aren't going good with Jarvis Landry. But that's the most embarrassing thing. But do you believe in Adam Gase? As I bring myself back from the tirade, right? Do you believe in Adam Gase? Yes, I do. Full 100%. I believe in Adam Gase. He is my coach for the future. I said he should have been coach of the year in his first year in his rookie season, and he should have. This season, he dealt with injuries on injuries on injuries on injuries. Locker room that wasn't the way he needed it to be. His starting linebacker went AWOL the first game. His running back was not performing the way that people had thought of him. He ends up trading him. His receiver is starting to fit into the mold of the prima donna receiver. He gets ejected the last game of the season. Your running back now gets ejected the last game of the season. All this stuff. You see, next season will be different. Next season will be different, y'all. You just gotta believe in Adam Gase. So, although this has only been 23 minutes for the 3 segments, I wanted to kind of do 10 a segment, but I recorded 2 Dolphins franchises today. One's coming out tomorrow. The other one's coming out Thursday. Those are 30 minutes each. This one's probably going to be 30 minutes. So I've been recording for an hour and a half now. My voice is a little... And I have to record a video for yesterday. So this is for today. But I have to record yesterday's video right after I record this one. So, my voice is hurting. I need some water and stuff. But let's get into segment for the Q&A. Okay, so although this isn't a Q&A per se, and it's more of me answering your comments, I thought this would be nice. After, getting a week of comments, I can answer them to you guys because, like I said it before, I'm taking 7 classes, so it's kind of hard for me to respond to comments every single day. And like I said, I also schedule my videos for the week, so it's kind of, yeah. So, guys, let's get into this. I'm going to try to do about maybe 5 or 10 minutes of this. We'll see. But yeah, so first one is kind of irrelevant. I wanted to trash it because it's from a video I posted last year. I mean, if we want to even open the YouTube link. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Oh, did you hear that? Look at this. This is when I didn't even have a webcam. This was on my Mac, bro. That's disgusting. But this is when I put up October 14th. And I said, will Gase end the Tannehill era in Miami? And that one was interesting. It was pretty interesting, but I got a resounding kind of like a no, he won't, and I really didn't want him to, but it was just kind of like a play to my fan base type of thing. But it says Dolphins cut Ryan Tannehill walk. I don't care. Jay trade was still a dickhole dumbass move. Well, sir, not really. I kind of already explained it, but this is one thing I think I commented on already. No, I didn't. But this comment here, you guys should go to the Why Does Jay Ajayi Keep Talking About the Miami Dolphins video. Read that comment for yourself, or maybe you could read it really quickly now. Is everything I'm about to say. So I'm not going to say it because that person already said it. Miami Dolphins draft Lamar Jackson. No. Jai is the most mature guy isn't the most mature guy in the league. Add that to his lack of production, and it's easy to see why he was traded, even though that's, in my opinion, a lot of missed value. Yeah, it is a lot of missed value in little, maybe not even really little areas, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, whatever. Anyways, he isn't the most mature guy in the league either. We kind of saw that, and I'd be surprised if he's on the Eagles roster next year. And that's not even me trying to be funny. It's an actual thing. It's your channel. Do what you think is best for the CFM series. I did end up recording that video. That comes out tomorrow. I fixed the audio. I'm the first thing from Fins fan, but I love your content in that series. Thank you. Deontay is a beast for you, and hopefully he'll be good in the NFL for whichever team decides to draft him. Speaking of that, where do you think he gets drafted? I know you want him on the Fins, but what do you think the most likely team to go get him? So, I think Deontay Burnett is a third-round pick, depending on what he can do in the combine. Right now, I see him as a third-round pick. I think he has tons of potential, 6 foot, and he could easily be a slot receiver or could play on the outside. It really doesn't matter, but it looks like he'll most likely be a slot. He has the, you know, instincts to be able to be an outside receiver, though, so that could be very interesting. Where do I see him getting drafted? Like I said, third round. Most likely team, I'd have to go with the Bears. If they don't address it, I'd say Bears, Cowboys. My wild card would be Arizona. This one is one of my favorite, and I'm going to read it the whole way. It says, a stove is a stove, no matter where you go. A patty is a patty. That's what I say. A grill is a grill. That is surely so, and fries should be fries either way. But this place is not home. This is not the grill I know. I would give it all away if you'll come back to stay. This place is not the same without you, SpongeBob reference, and I loved it. That was talking about the Dwayne Wade return. Notification squad. In this mock, you're telling me Roquan Smith, was still available in the third. I'm glad you're not picking for the Fins. Well, let's see when this video was. So, this video was posted on November 29th, 2017. So, I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's get into the next one. Some potential steals in this draft Fins got to get. Defensive end Hercules Mataafa. I don't know how to. That sounds like I'm saying something different. In the third and fourth range, wide receiver Antonio Callaway out of Florida. In the sixth, running back Ito Smith in the late rounds. These players have serious first round upside, like you said with Callaway. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say. Scouting bit suggestion Jerome Baker is a beast. I see him going in the early second, sometimes late fifth, early sixth rounder. By the way, even as a Pat fan, Miami CFM is really good. Keep it up. Cool. Keep seeing Mika go in the first round on FanSpeak. Yeah, I see him going first overall too. Blah, 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 blah. Playing Madden makes me want to punch holes in the wall. Yeah, you know, same to me. Playing Madden makes me really want to freaking just nail a hole in my wall, but I can't do that because I would get in trouble. Keep up the work. I love this channel. Thank you, Jay Gaming. Thank you. Once Cousins gets signed either by New York Jets or Denver, it's a lot that will draft him. That's talking about Baker and Mayfield. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's not really a lock that will draft him, because if either of them gets him, doesn't mean that they're not going to be another quarterback available. But you never know. Awesome vid, keep it up. Thank you. Rosen isn't a very good leader or teammate apparently, but his talent and poise is great. Darnold has a lot of work to do before he becomes good. Same with Josh Allen, who shouldn't even be a first-round pick. Facts. Lamar Jackson isn't accurate at all. Exactly why I'm wondering why so many people want him to go in the first round. Mayfield is my pick for the best QB in this class, and he'd be a steal. Fins need a leader like him. Yeah, probably. If you ever run out of video ideas, you should make productions on our schedule game by game. Keep up the good work. I love watching you. You know, I meant to say this, and I hope you're watching this. I never knew what you meant by this, but I liked it anyways, just because you said keep up good work. Love watching you. But yeah, if you could explain that to me, Jay Gaming 123, that'd be cool. That'd be great. If we draft Mayfield, I'm not a Fins fan anymore. Nah, just kidding. But seriously, I don't think he's going to be good in the NFL. Waste of pick. He's got my gut as well as the FO gut. I think he'll be a homer. You probably haven't seen him play too much. Guy has talent to be successful, no question. Got to see if he can make him mature in the NFL. This one is talking about the Miami Dolphins franchise. If you haven't seen week 1, go see it, go see it, go see it, go see it. Aaron Rodgers era over. Yep. I'm in week 12 right now on the recording. This is me responding because I was hella bored, so I just started recording, and he is 100% out for the year. If Madden was anything like real life, he would be traded. Might just do it myself to make things interesting. Yeah, pretty much. And then we're going to get to these last ones here. Yeah, these are going to be the last ones right here. So, I love watching, or I love that you're adding music now. It really improves the video. Good shit, bro. Thank you, thank you. I've never commented on your videos before, but I've been watching all of them since the 2016 season. Just wanted to say I really like your videos. Keep it up. Thank you. I like that I'm adding. There's no audio on Saturday's video, and there's no audio for this one. But thank you. I appreciate that. I might start adding it in the my mocks as well. But thank you. I appreciate that. I thought it did so too. So, yeah. So, Josh wasn't still on the board when the Miami Dolphins picked him. You wouldn't draft him. And I said, don't recall saying that. If he's there, you run to the podium. This is the one I want to talk about. Let me crack the knuckles here. Using that logic, if hypothetically we had the 11th pick every year and the best player available each year is a quarterback, we have a stockpile of quarterbacks and holes all around the roster. With that logic, you think that at 11, there's always going to be a quarterback that is better than everyone else in the draft, which isn't true. That's like saying that if Aaron Donald is there, but Aaron Donald is there, but if you have a QB, draft QB, best player doesn't mean QB. Not every year, fool. And I said, thank you. I said, hypothetically, if the QB was better than everyone else in the draft, we would go best player available. That's like the Cowboys drafting Saquon Barkley despite having Zeke simply because Barkley was the best player available rather than drafting a need. Well, actually, you said, using that logic, if hypothetically we had the 11th pick every year and the best player available was a quarterback. But I digress. Every team needs starters. Your Fins, especially when it comes to positions like guard. My Pat's bucket list is Kyle Fuller, who finally regained his rookie form. Aaron Lynch, because I've heard for some reason San Francisco doesn't want him. And Tahir Whitehead, who I've been high on forever. Yeah, true. And then love that who that boy instrumental. And then this is going to be the last one. Flaws in Tannenbaum's plan. The draft is more valuable in the free agency this year. Having our starters in place might lead to many save picks. It might lead to drafting a position we don't need, reaching for players that would be too aggressive, having our priorities out of whack. So, I hope you guys enjoy that comment type of thing, and hopefully everything's good. But I hope you guys did very much enjoy the first episode of the Miami Dolphins podcast here. Next one will be next Monday, and I am pushing and pushing and pushing to try to get Trigger 305 back. I will see you guys next time, and as always, peace.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins.